Sorry about all the clutter. I'm just moving the cabinets out of the bedroom. I'm just getting new drawers and stuff just to fit in better. I want to try and declutter the place, tidy up a bit. I wanted to read a couple pages from one of the books of the authors we were looking at during the seminars. He's another Jungian psychologist. He never really got into therapy. He was just more of a analyst, author. He's a poet. Obviously, all on masculine psychology. Book's called The Iron John, a story of men. It's going to sound a little bit confusing. It's like probably a quarter way in the story about a little boy encountering the wild man in his father's castle. Right, his father's a king, and he has a little golden ball that accidentally fell into the cage of the wild man, and he's trying to retrieve the key to open the cage to get his ball back. So it's more symbolic, about relating to a man's life from early childhood to early adulthood, pretty much. The way he transitions when he if you listen to it live, the way he transitions from the story to all the footnotes, it's cool. It's like he does a process, a ritual, so that the audience is prepared to kind of leave this world and go into the world of the story, right? So I'll just start, and yeah, we'll see how much it makes sense, what do I start here? Maybe 10 years pass now. On the second day, the man could be 25. He goes back to the wild man and says, "Could I have my ball back?" The wild man says, "Yes, if you let me out of the cage." Actually, just returning to the wild man a second time is a marvelous thing. Some men never come back at all. The 25-year-old man hears the sentence all right, but by now he has 2 Toyotas and a mortgage, maybe a wife and a child. How can you let the wild man out of the cage? A man usually walks away the second time also without saying a word. Now 10 more years pass. Let's say the man is now 35. Have you ever seen the look of dismay on the face of a 35-year-old man? Feeling overworked, alienated, empty, he asks the wild man with full heart this time, "Could I have my golden ball back?" "Yes," the wild man says, "if you let me out of my cage." Now something marvelous happens in the story. The boy speaks to the wild man and continues the conversation. He says, "If I wanted to let you out, I couldn't because I don't know where the key is." That's so good. By the time we are 35, we don't know where the key is. It isn't exactly that we have forgotten. We never knew where it was in the first place. The story says that when the king locked up the wild man, quote, "he gave the key into the keeping of the queen," unquote. But we were only about 7 then. And in any case, our father never told us what he had done with it. So where is the key? I've heard audiences try to answer that one. It's around the boy's neck. No. It's hidden in Iron John's cage. No. It's inside the golden ball. No. It's inside the castle on a hook, inside the treasure room. No. It's in the tower. It's on a hook high up on the wall. No. The wild man replies, "The key is under your mother's pillow." The key is not inside the ball, nor in the golden chest, nor in the safe. The key is under our mother's pillow. Just where Freud said it would be. Getting the key back from under the mother's pillow is a troublesome task. Freud, taking advice from a Greek play, says that a man should not skip over the mutual attraction between himself and his mother if he wants a long life. The mother's pillow, after all, lies in the bed near where she makes love to your father. Moreover, there's another implication attached to the pillow. Michael Mead, the myth teller, once remarked to me that the pillow is also the place where the mother stores all her expectations for you. She dreams, "My son the doctor, my son the Jungian analyst, my son the Wall Street genius." But very few mothers dream, "My son the wild man." On the son's side, he isn't sure he wants to take the key. Simply transferring the key from the mother's to a guru's pillow won't help. Forgetting that the mother possesses it is a bad mistake. A mother's job is, after all, to civilize the boy, and so it is natural for her to keep the key. All families behave alike on this planet. The king gives the key into the keeping of the queen, attacking the mother, confronting her, shouting at her, which some Freudians are prone to urge on us, probably does not accomplish much. She may smile and talk to you with her elbow on the pillow. Oedipus' conversations with Jocasta never did much good, nor did Hamlet's shouting. A friend mentioned that it's wise to steal the key someday when your mother and father are gone. Quote, "My mother and father are away," unquote, implies a day when the head is free of parental inhibitions. That's the day to steal the key. Gioia Timpanelli, the writer and storyteller, remarked that mythologically, the theft of the key belongs to the world of Hermes. And the key has to be stolen. I recall to an audience of men and women once about this problem of stealing the key. A young man, obviously well trained in New Age modes of operation, said, "Robert, I'm disturbed by this idea of stealing the key. Stealing isn't right. Couldn't a group of us just go to the mother and say, 'Mum, could I have the key back?'" His model was probably consensus, the way the staff at the health food store settles things. I felt the souls of all the women in the room rise up in the air to kill him. Men like that are as dangerous to women as they are to men. No mother worth her salt would give the key anyway. If a son can't steal it, he doesn't deserve it. I want to let the wild man out. Come over and give Mummy a kiss. Mothers are intuitively aware of what would happen if he got the key. They would lose their boys. The possessiveness that the mothers typically exercise on sons, not to mention the possessiveness that fathers typically exercise on daughters, can never be underestimated. The means of getting the key back varies with each man, but suffice it to say that democratic or non-linear approaches will not carry the day. One rather stiff young man danced one night for about 6 hours vigorously, and in the morning remarked, "I got some of the key back last night." Another man regained the key when he acted like a wholehearted trickster for the first time in his life, remaining fully conscious of the tricksterism. Another man stole the key when he confronted his family and refused to carry any longer the shame of the whole family. We could spend days talking of how to steal the key, in a practical way. The story itself leaves everything open and simply says, one day he stole the key, brought it to the wild man's cage, and opened the lock. As he did so, he pinched one of his fingers. That detail will become important in the next part of the story. The wild man is then free at last, and it's clear that he will go back to his own forest, far from the castle. I guess I'll continue on the story, probably start from the beginning throughout the channel. Hopefully that gives you a good taste of kind of therapy, this Jungian research, and these teachers can really give just by analysing their research, So yeah, see you next one.